Sawadee krap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's Thursday, January 4th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pdcphuket.com. The excise taxes for liquor and entertainment venues is set to be reduced after the cabinet in Bangkok approved the set of proposals, all in an effort to boost national revenue through tourism.
The proposal's stated goals are to boost spending by tourists when they are in Thailand, and in doing so, the excise tax on wine will be cut down from 10% to 5%. In addition, alcohol duty will be cut from 1,500 baht per liter to 1,000 baht per liter. At the same time, the excise tax for locally made liquor will be waived, but alcohol duty for liquor with 7% alcohol volume will remain unchanged, according to officials. In addition, a temporary excise tax reduction has been introduced for entertainment venues from 10% down to 5%, which includes nightclubs, pubs, and bars around the country. All of these lower rates are applicable until the end of the year, December 31st, 2024. The measures, according to the Permanent Secretary of Finance, are expected to increase tourist spending on alcohol by 3%, which officials estimate could increase generated revenue by 2.9 billion baht, with an average spending per person increase to 43,400 baht. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
Finally, days after a deadly speedboat crash that claimed the life of a 5-year-old Russian girl, officials have admitted that the captain of that speedboat did in fact test positive for meth use after the accident on New Year's Eve.
Confirmation finally came buried at the bottom of an official report of the daily briefing for the 7 days safety campaign held yesterday, though the report named the boat captain as a Mr. Nataruj, as previous reports by Phuket officials named the boat captain as Natapong Kongwilai. The accident occurred on Sunday afternoon as a group of Russian nationals were being driven back on a speedboat from the PP Islands to Phuket, and they stopped at Maithon. The boat crashed into the rocks at Maithon, and 9 people were admitted to the hospital for various injuries sustained in the accident, all while a 5-year-old girl succumbed to her injuries. Meanwhile, 3 others have been released from medical care. In addition to confirmation of the captain testing positive for methamphetamine use, officials confirmed that the boat registration had expired. Meanwhile, the speedboat, Apidak 89, has been hauled out of the water at Chalong Bay and is now at a local shipyard. The whole incident has prompted officials to conduct random drug testing at marinas and piers around the island. And on Wednesday, officials tested 64 boat operators at Ao Por Pier in Pak Lok on Phuket's east coast, 5 of whom tested positive for meth use, according to the Phuket Tourist Police. The 5 people were immediately suspended from work, according to authorities. Officials had previously drug tested several boat operators at Rasada and Chalong piers earlier this week, easily the 2 busiest piers on the island, each serving hundreds of boats each day. However, officials only tested 18 boat operators at Rasada Pier, in which 1 person tested positive for meth, and just 23 boat operators at Chalong Pier, where none tested positive for drug use. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
An early morning shooting in Sapan Hin on the east side of Phuket Town resulted in 2 teenagers facing attempted murder charges after 2 other people were shot, including an innocent bystander.
The shooting took place at about 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Police received the report that a bullet had struck the official residence of the Phuket Marine Police Chief on Phuket Road, who was not in the area at the time of the shooting. Investigating officers soon learned that there had been a shootout between 2 gangs of youths that had started near Bang Yai Canal at Sapan Hin nearby. One group of teens were sitting beside the canal when another group of teens from Koh Sireh arrived on motorbikes. The 2 gangs had already encountered each other, and police were told that one of the gang members from Koh Sireh shot at the teens sitting beside the canal, prompting the Bang Yai group to speed off on their motorbikes. A chase ensued and the firing continued. A 17-year-old sustained injuries to his head, while a local bystander had been shot in the shoulder. Both were taken to Vashida Phuket Hospital in Phuket Town. Using CCTV footage from across Phuket Town and beyond, Phuket City Police tracked down and arrested 2 members of the Koh Sireh gang at a rented room in Wichit at about 7 p.m. last night. Both 18-year-olds, whom police say fired the gun. In making the arrests, police seized a homemade firearm and 1 shotgun shell casing that had already been fired. Both have been charged with attempted murder. The investigation is ongoing. For more on this, visit thephuket.news.com.
Watch you fall out from a window, take a bad trip to the ground. Ooh. Eat in the pleasure, see your pressure just before you break a bone.
Nationwide, road deaths are down in Thailand over the New Year holiday, with officials touting statistics that show over a 23% reduction in road fatalities in Thailand compared to last year.
Statistics released by the Department of Land Transport say that Thailand saw 1,839 road accidents from December 29 to January 2nd, nationwide. Out of that, 1,860 people were injured and 212 were killed. The Royal Thai Police say that this represents a reduction across the board compared to this time last year, as fatalities dropped by 23.19%, injuries by 3.43%, and the number of accidents by 6.17%. An overwhelming 87% out of all traffic accidents during this period nationwide involved motorcycles. Out of those killed and injured, police say that 68.8% were not wearing crash helmets or seatbelts. Officials say that speeding was the most common cause of road accidents in Thailand during the holiday period, accounting for 40.6% of all accidents, followed by drivers cutting in front of other motorists at 23.3% and drunk driving at 14.2%. For more, visit thephuket.news.com.
The director of the Phuket Tourism Office is saying that they will continue the strategy of promoting Phuket as a year-round destination with no official low season, after the island province generated over 330 billion baht and welcomed over 10 million visitors last year.
Lerchai Wantrakuldi, the director of the Tourism Authority of Thailand Phuket office, says that last year was a pivotal year for Phuket, not only in welcoming back tourists fully, but also in welcoming in a diverse array of tourists from several countries that has put Phuket in a position to not rely on one single source country for tourism. While the biggest group of tourists to Phuket came from Russia, he stated that Chinese, Indian, Australian, Malaysian, and British tourists are not far behind. During the New Year holiday, Phuket welcomed more than 250,000 visitors and witnessed more than 8 billion baht changing hands, with about 70% of those visitors being foreign travelers who arrived to Phuket on direct flights. This has also resulted in an occupancy rate average of 82%, with some hotel operators reporting a threefold increase in revenue compared with pre-COVID levels seen in 2019, in which Thailand welcomed a record nearly 40 million tourists. For more, visit the link in the description.
We really appreciate you joining us today on this Thursday edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. We'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.